Hey YouTube, this is Jack Connor. I just wanted to pop in with my brief thoughts on the movie Hereditary. I saw Hereditary the other day and everybody has been talking about this movie, so I thought I would chime in with my quick review. Caution, there will be spoilers. Okay, let's dive in. First of all, you have to know that I am a big fan of horror movies and horror novels, and in fact, I've even written several horror novels. I can't say it, but I can write it. I've been a fan of horror novels and movies all my life. I'm pretty well versed in horror novels and movies. Anyway, I'm a big fan of horror. I love horror. So bring it on. I'm really enjoying the little horror renaissance that we've been having the last few years. Get Out, Don't Breathe, Happy Death Day, a lot of fun. Keep it coming. Bring it on, guys. So now we come to Hereditary, and that was a really interesting movie. I really enjoyed Hereditary. Very tense, very atmospheric, with twists and turns I didn't see coming. I will say that for the first hour of the movie, I didn't think it was a horror movie. It didn't play out like a horror movie. The tone of it was a horror movie tone. The way it was directed, the atmosphere, the tension was all very horrific. But it was not, there were no monsters, there was no people dying except for one, and that was more of a dramatic conflict than a horror conflict. So the first hour was very much a drama with your standard drama problems, humans dealing with, human grief and loss and mistakes they made. This is a spoiler review. We can just get into it. The boy accidentally kills his sister and has to deal with the fallout of that. He's emotionally wrecked by that. His mom is emotionally wrecked by that. Both brilliantly acted, by the way. The acting in this movie is great, and it really sells the movie very well. So they're dealing with all this human grief and tragedy, and trying to overcome it. And gradually, there's some more horrific elements peppered in. In the very beginning, we're teased with a ghost, but then that fades, and we don't have any supernatural shenanigans for a long time. And then gradually it comes back in after we're invested in the characters and their dramatic conflict as opposed to their horrific conflict. It is not a horror movie for the first hour, half of the movie, except for a little tease in the beginning that there will be supernatural stuff later, and the overall tone of the movie is very much a horror movie, which is interesting because the first half is a horror movie with the content of it a drama. So the second half gets into the actual horror. Things go wrong, shit hits the fan, stuff starts to happen, more surreal stuff, and ghosts, weird people, demons, whatever. So all of that was very interesting and well played. It reminded me a little bit of Dario Argento's Suspiria, which is one of my favorite movies. I kept on hoping they would throw some little nod to Suspiria in there. Somebody would whisper, "witches," or something like that. That would have been great. But they didn't, which is probably for the best. This is not a tongue-in-cheek movie. This is a very serious movie, a very serious horror movie. And when that brings me to my biggest flaw with this movie, and it's not this movie per se, it's a lot of the horror movies lately of the last few years have taken themselves very seriously. Now, a lot of them have been quality movies, Don't Breathe and Get Out, and several others, Split, and some other very good horror movies, but they do tend to take themselves very seriously. I think Happy Death Day was probably the most fun horror movie that has been made in the last few years, and I really welcome that return to fun and horror. What do I mean by fun and horror? I mean Evil Dead, the Jason movies, the Freddy movies. Horror movies as they used to be were a lot of fun to go to. They were still bloody and disgusting and full of, horror. They could be scary, they could be tense, but they were enjoyable and fun. Movies in the last few years tend to focus more on the drama and the seriousness and the gravity of the situation, and less on the entertainment value, less on the fun, less on the popcorn thrills of what horror movies used to be. You used to go to, a Jason movie, wanting to see his gory kills and munching the popcorn while he's slaughtering people. And not so with the recent movies. Very, very, very serious, very grim, and they did a very good job with that in Hereditary. It is very serious, and you're very invested in the human characters and the conflict there. I really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed The Witch, I think you will particularly enjoy Hereditary. It has a lot of the same elements, a lot of the same tone. Takes itself very seriously, builds nicely, a nice progression, and of course, a lot of occult elements in it. The Witch was a very nice little horror movie, very weird for those that don't like that, but well done. And Hereditary, very well done. I can't wait to see what this director does next, what that movie studio does next. It's doing some interesting things. So bring it on. I'm really enjoying the horror renaissance that's happening lately. Being a good example. But and it was more fun. It was more of a fun movie, and I hope that it brings a wave of more fun movies to our cinemas. It and Happy Death Day. But the recent horror movies do seem to be more serious, and I'm enjoying their quality, but I do hope that we can rediscover some of the more fun to be had in horror movies. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on Hereditary. Did you enjoy the movie? What did you think? Was it too arty? Was it too weird? Was it not bloody enough? What are your thoughts? Tell me all about it in the comments below. Please like this video. Please subscribe. And until next time, this is Jack Connor out.